The heyday, so to speak, of serial murder was in the 70s and 80s. We had far more serial killers back then than we do now. And evidence of that is the fact that when we see documentaries and movies about serial killers, they focus on Bundy and Gacy and the legacy killers of the past. There's really no high profile.
Okay, John, go ahead. What I tell you is what I know is fact.
I'm a power person. I enjoy power. Nobody else had the guts to pull off what I pulled off. I outsmarted you again.
Police today found 6 more bodies
under the home of suspected killer John Gacy.
Well, you can be walking down the street, and if Gacy lay eyes on you, you have now become his next victim.
I know society will never be able to forgive me. I know the families of the victims will never be able to forgive me for what I have done. Your Honor, it is over now.
Welcome all you true crime lovers. Sit back, grab that blanket and hot beverage, and prepare for another Saturday night of The Murder Show. Whose mind and story will we dive into tonight? Now for your host, Tim, and alongside him, his co-host, Criminology, Chris, and Classroom Jackie.
Yeah, it was pretty smooth. What she was talking about. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to another fantastic Saturday here and another night of the Murder Show. I am always as your host here, Mr. Tim. That's me. Alongside of me, we have got to see how I can build them up tonight. The wild, wacky, inflatable, sexy motherfucker. My co-host, Criminology Chris.
Flailing arm, Criminology Chris. Hey, everybody.
And alongside of him is the director of all social media over there. I love my brain, Classroom Jackie.
What's up, guys?
Welcome. We've kept everybody in suspense all week. I'm sure people have lost sleep, maybe not gone to the bathroom most of the week. Hell, maybe wet the bed. I don't know. I don't prefer to know. But tonight, we are covering a pretty good one. We're going way back. I mean, we're talking
1930s.
1930s here. We are covering the famous Bonnie and Clyde.
Can I just say, you picked a Criminology Chris picked a really great episode.
Yes, he did.
2 of my favorite people.
Well, when you're as stunning as this guy over here, this gay,
They got great ideas. Hey, I'm glad to,
it's hard being him.
do what I can for you guys,
Oh man. So actually, yes, so jumping in here, always like I always like to say at the beginning and the end. If you don't already subscribe to our YouTube channel here, where you are right now, if you are watching live, please do hit the little subscribe button and thumbs up and like the video. What that does is every time before we go live, it'll send you a little notification and say, hey, these guys are going live. Check it out. Be sure to follow us on all the social media platforms, Facebook, TikTok. That is at Murder Show. And as always, we like to thank our 2 wonderful sponsors, Unique Detail LLC. They are located here in northeastern Ohio by Cleveland, about 45 minutes south. Check them out. They are on Facebook as well, too. And our other sponsor, Crafty Corner by Laura, all handmade crochet items, jewelry, plushies, and more. Check them out on Instagram at Crafty Corner by Laura, and on Etsy. You can also email them at thecraftycornercrochet@gmail.com. So we like to thank both of those sponsors. Before we dive in, Classroom Jackie wanted to read a poem that she did not write by herself, so don't give her that much credit for it. Go ahead.
This is actually a poem that Bonnie Parker wrote, and it's about the death of Bonnie and Clyde, and it's really good.
All right, let's check it out.
You have read the story of Jesse James, of how he lived and died. If you are still in need of something to read, here is the story of Bonnie and Clyde. Now, Bonnie and Clyde are the Barrow Gang. I'm sure you all have read how they rob and steal, and how those who squeal are usually found dying or dead. There are lots of untruth to their write-ups. They are not so merciless as that. They hate all the laws, the stool pigeons, spotters, and rats. They Some of this is hard to write because it was on read is on a typewriter. So if I miss a word, I'm sorry.
Yeah,
That's all right.
They class them as cold-blooded killers. They say they are heartless and mean. But I say this with pride that I once knew Clyde when he was honest, upright, and clean. But the law fooled around, kept taking him down, and locking him up in a cell, till he said to me, I will never be free, so I will meet a few of them in hell. This road was so dimly lit, there was no highway signs to guide, but they made up their minds if the roads were all blind, they wouldn't give up until they died. The road gets dimmer and dimmer. Sometimes you can hardly see. Still, it's fight man to man, and do all you can, for they know they can never be free. If they try to act like citizens and rent them a nice little flat, about the third night they are invited to fight by a submachine gun rat-tat-tat. If a policeman is killed in Dallas and they have no clues for a guy, if they can't find a fiend, they just wipe the slate clean and hang it on Bonnie and Clyde. True crimes that have been done in America, not accredited to the Barrow mob, for they had no hand in the kidnapping demand or the Kansas City depot job. There's part two. A newsboy once said to his buddy, I wish old Clyde would get jumped. In this awful hard times, we might make a few dimes if 5 or 6 laws get bumped. The police haven't got the report yet. Clyde sent a wireless today saying we have a peace flag of white. We stretch out at night. We have joined the NRA. They don't think they are too tough or desperate. They know the law always wins. They have been shot at before, but they do not ignore that death was the rages of sin. From heartbreak, some people have suffered. From weariness, some people have died. But take it all in, our troubles are small, till we get like Bonnie and Clyde. Someday they will go down together, and they will bury them side by side. To a few it may be grief, to the law is relief, but it is death to Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, that one was good. I like it.
That actually came from Texas, literally just the portal to Texas history. So it's in there. You can also find a copy of it in the Congress of Library. The Library of Congress. Wow, I messed that up.
I like that. That one's good.
Mhm.
Better
The
than
Suicide Owl.
yeah, the
Suicide
suicide.
Owl confused me.
That sounds like that one looked like it was written by Dennis Rader.
I heard a lot of these poems. They wrote many of them. They were still written.
That's why it was a little difficult on a couple of the spots.
So kind of jumping in here, I'm sure a lot of people out there know, Bonnie and Clyde's story. I actually did not know too much about them. I knew of them, but I didn't know in depth until last night when we got together. And what was that movie that we watched that you guys
The
had me watch?
Highwaymen.
The Highwaymen. If you guys ever get a chance, it's on Netflix. Check that out. It's about 3 hours, I think.
Yeah.
But it was so good.
Yeah, but it's a Costner and Woody Harrelson. I mean,
Yeah.
you can't go wrong. It's a good
And
movie.
it's actually based off the true story of the Texas Rangers who ended up taking out Bonnie and Clyde.
Yeah, that movie was definitely fire, man, for sure. Or as in the young kids say, was gas.
It slaps.
It slaps. Yeah, it slaps. I don't know. In my day, gas was just you ripped ass. So
We just had that was good, and that was about it.
or it was good.
We didn't
I
have
don't-
all
I
this
don't get
slang.
all this shit.
I think LOL came out when I was
kind of like
in
it.
freshman.
It slaps. I get a lot of bad images in my head when I think of slaps.
Wasn't it
I-
fire for a while?
Yeah.
Was it cap or slap or is
Yeah.
it fire?
Yep, fire was one, or another one is if you're eating a lot, you're big bagging.
Yeah,
I'm like, what the? Come on.
our 14-year-old calls himself a big back because he's always hungry, but he is a string bean.
High metabolism. That's how I was for years. Then I had a kid and I got fat. Anyways, hey,
40 years old,
Roughly.
roughly.
You are.
don't rush us now.
Yeah, we're still on the younger side, thank you.
Let's talk about the jump.
So jumping in here, did you? You know what? I'll start out. Tell you a little bit of the childhood of Clyde. Is it Barrow or Barrow?
Borrow.
Barrow. Okay. So Clyde Barrow was born in 1909 into a poor farming family in the town of Tellico, Ellis County, Texas. He was the fifth of 7 children of Henry Barrow and Kumi Walker. The family moved to Dallas in the early 1920s as part of a wider migration pattern. And I kind of going back there, I'm sure poor farming family, I'm sure at that time there was quite a bit of those.
Yeah, it was Great Depression era.
Yeah. Yeah, because the Great Depression, what was the time? I don't remember exactly the time frame of
30.
20 to 30.
what was it? Yeah.
Yeah, 29, and then the time Bonnie and Clyde was doing this was really high. It was 32 to 34,
Right.
and that was really there.
Kind of in the peak. Okay.
I learned about
Oh, I know. That's like one of the first things that you learn, like my son right now, he's only 8. And he said that they're learning in 2nd grade about the War of 1912.
that. Yeah, right.
Yeah.
He can tell you one thing
And I'm
about
like,
it.
wow, already? 2nd grade? I was like, dang,
Right. Don't
or
ask me to help you
1812
with
or
your homework.
1912, one of those. But yeah, don't ask me. Yeah. Yeah, that's a whole nother story there with some of the math stuff that he brings me now. But so the Barrows spent their first months in West Dallas, living under their wagon until they got enough money to buy a tent. Jeez Louise, I can't imagine living under a wagon, especially 7 kids,
Right.
and you're underneath a wagon.
Yeah.
I mean, that reminds me of that old video game that we used to play that was on computer where you had to
Oregon Trail. Or
Oregon Trail.
Tears.
uh,
Yeah,
Trail
Oregon
of Tears.
Organ.
Yeah, the Oregon
Yeah.
Trail.
Yeah, that game was you
You
were
died of
killed by a
dysentery.
snake,
Dysentery killed you.
Dysentery, yeah.
The craziest game.
You don't win that.
Yeah, right.
Do you know they made that for the phone now? You can play it.
Did they really?
Yes.
Oh shit. Well, we know what we're doing now. So Clyde was first arrested in late 1926 at the age of 17 after running when police confronted him over a rental car that he had failed to return on time. I didn't realize they had rental cars back then. 1926?
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow.
Yeah, how
Was
much
it
did
like
that
10
cost?
cents a day?
Yeah.
Like 2 cents?
Nickel was worth something.
I mean, $1 was worth more than it is now.
Oh,
Yeah. Well, yeah. He was then, arrested a second time with his brother Buck, for the possession of stolen turkeys. Well, I mean, you got to eat. Might have been, turkey time.
Were they alive? That would be even more.
I'm gonna go with yeah. I'm sure they
Probably
were.
had, like, actually,
Yeah.
like, handcuffed or like they had like chains around their like a chain gang. Turkeys follow 'em, like,
A turkey game. Oh, like a leash of dogs. And it's turkeys.
little turkey shackles around their little turkey leg.
What? Okay, we're gonna pretend that did not happen, because she's got a lot of blackmail on me right now. As after last night, we were pissing her off. Yeah, no.
I forgot until now.
Barrow did have a few jobs from 1927 through 1929, but he also liked to cracked safes. Like cracking the codes and getting into them and stuff. Which I don't know. I guess it would be pretty neat to learn on how you would do it. I was always told, like, if you listen, you can kind of hear, but I don't know how true a lot of that is.
I have to imagine that the technology to lock it was probably a lot simpler back then. So I would guess that it's probably far easier to track and save.
Oh yeah, as opposed to now,
Yeah,
Oh,
right
yeah.
now
everything is put in a code.
it's got like glass liners.
Yeah.
Weird thing break.
Besides cracking safes, he liked to rob stores and steal cars. So those weren't his, legitimate jobs, but he did meet a 19-year-old guy, Parker, through mutual friend in January of 1930. And they spent much of their time together during the weeks. Their romance was interrupted when Barrow was arrested by Dallas County Sheriff's Deputy Burt. Good old Burt. And they were convicted of auto theft.
Hold on. So he met Parker and then got arrested?
Yes.
Oh, 'cause we haven't even talked about Bonnie yet.
Oh, well, okay. I like to just kind of, shift it around. I like to keep everybody on their toes tonight,
It's fine.
So,
Actually, Clyde was actually known by, I think, it was Bert when he was growing up. He
Yeah.
actually didn't go by George.
oh, okay.
He also had the nickname of Champion
Champion.
in the middle of his thing. It was Clyde Chestnut Champion Barrow.
Oh, he should have just gone by Chest.
Chestnut.
Yeah, good old Chestnut. Jackie, if you want, you can start and tell us a little bit about Bonnie.
Yeah, no problem. Bonnie was born Bonnie Elizabeth Parker in 1910. She was born in Rowena, Texas as well, and was the second of 3 children. Her father, Charles Robert Parker, passed away when she was 4 years old. Her mother, Emma, moved her family back to her parents' house in Cement City. It was an industrial suburb of West Dallas. As an adult, Bonnie wrote poems such as the Story of Suicide Sal and The Trail's End, the latter more commonly known as The Story of Bonnie and Clyde. So this was a poem she wrote before they started doing all of the crimes together.
Oh, okay. So she was already into kind of doing
Mhm.
poetry and stuff. Okay.
She was known to be a very bright and bubbly person. She wanted to be an actress. She loved
She was
attention.
very, very pretty.
She was.
She could have made it.
Isn't it incredible that like every person we do like had this dream of doing something and they had that and they ended up
Killing.
everybody. You know? Other people they all had dreams of being whatever it was. As soon as that went away.
Well, you also wonder too, did that go away for her when she met Clyde?
Well, so she was actually married before she met Clyde.
Oh,
She met Parker in her second year of high school, met Roy Thornton. The couple dropped out of school and got married in September of 1926, 6 days before she turned 16. Their marriage was marred by his frequent absences and brushes with the law and proved to be short-lived, so they divorced. They never really divorced, and when Bonnie died, she was still technically married to him.
Oh,
Yeah, she
okay.
was still wearing his ring.
Mhm.
So I don't know how it works. Can you still get, like, if somebody died before you got a divorce, if you knew you were going to get a divorce and then they die, I wonder how that works, if you can still legally divorce them or not, or if you have to like show proof of, the death certificate,
They
or
probably get a death cert. I would assume even back then they probably had some sort of death certificate
yeah,
that would void your
marriage or
marriage.
whatever.
Yeah.
After 1929, they never crossed paths again, so they never saw each other or anything. Interestingly enough, Thornton was in prison the year before Bonnie and Clyde died, and then he passed away 3 years later in 1937. He was in jail for, I believe it was, robbing. They did robbery in 1933, and he attempted to escape jail 7 different times. He did end up ultimately being killed when he was trying to escape Huntsville State State Prison. After she left Thornton, Parker moved back in with her mother and worked as a waitress in Dallas. One of her regular customers was a postal worker named Ted Hinton. In 1932, he joined the Dallas County Sheriff's Department and eventually served as a member of the posse that killed Bonnie and Clyde.
Oh, God.
Yeah.
How ironic, yeah.
Parker briefly kept a diary in early 1929 when she turned 18, writing of her loneliness, her impatience with life in Dallas, and her love of photography. And then the following year, she met Clyde and stopped writing anything.
Yeah, down there in Texas, you got all sorts of nothing to take pictures of.
Right.
Yeah.
Now, when she did meet Clyde, she was 19 years old and he was 20. Bonnie was out of work and staying with female friends to assist her during her recovery from a broken arm. And Barrow had dropped by the girl's house to drop off something and met her when she was in the kitchen making hot chocolate. And it must have been love from first sight right there, because she followed him into death.
That must have been one damn good cup of hot chocolate.
Yeah.
Must have. Did you want to cover 1932 criminology, Chris? Or just 1932?
I don't know anything about 1932.
Oh, wait.
You weren't alive then, Grandpa?
Oh.
Shots fired.
Or you want to cover the murder, like when they actually get caught in the court? Because you know a lot about that.
So they originally kind of got things going because the Great Depression was going on, and they were trying to help out their neighborhood, right?
They were stealing from. In reality, the crimes before they started doing what they did, they were just trying to help people. Everybody was poor, they had no money, they couldn't live, so they stole from banks and government, but not from people themselves.
Okay.
After Barrow was released in prison in 1932, he and Ralph Boltz began a series of robberies, primarily stores and gas stations. Their goal, just to collect enough money and firepower to launch a raid against East Ham Prison, which just so happened to be where Barrow's brother, Marvin Buck, was being held. Marvin Buck was being held.
What a name.
On April 19th, Parker and Foltz were captured in a failed hardware store burglary in Kaufman, in which they had intended to steal firearms. Bonnie was released from jail after a few months, with the grand jury failing to indict her for these crimes. Foltz was tried, convicted, and served time. He never returned to the gang at that point. Parker wrote poetry to pass the time when she was in jail and reunited with Barrow within a few weeks of her release. On April 30th, Barrow was a getaway driver in a robbery in Hillsborough, during which store owner J.N. Butcher was shot and killed. So that is the first incident of where they did kill somebody.
Okay.
Butcher's wife identified Barrow from police photographs as one of the shooters, although he had stayed inside the car. There are a couple other little crimes that they committed as well. At one of them, they did unfortunately have a total of 9 people murdered. And I believe it was 6 of them were police officers.
Wow.
Like that, I believe. Yeah. And that was on August 5th. Barrow, Raymond and Hamilton, and Ross Dyer were drinking moonshine at a county dance in Stringtown, Oklahoma, when Sheriff C.J. Maxwell and Deputy Eugene C. Moore approached them in the parking lot. Barrow and Hamilton opened fire, killing Moore and gravely wounding Maxwell. Moore was the first law officer whom Barrow and his gang had killed. In total, there was 9 officers that they murdered, not 9 people.
So
12 people, including.
So what did they have against police?
Just
that they went on, you know what I
they were
mean?
government.
Authority. I mean, they had been in and out of trouble so much. I believe that, it's funny they got around so well, because I believe that Clyde was actually missing a few toes from a jail escape.
Yeah, and Bonnie had severe burn damage to her left leg and dragged it to walk.
Accident, yeah.
It was said that sometimes she would not be able to walk, and Clyde would have to help her hop or carry her.
Right.
which is crazy. Yeah, and we saw in that movie last night, they were able to get a little bit that they could tell that she was dragging her foot,
Mhm.
and in the one scene when,
Just
and
by the
she would
heel
always,
imprints.
yeah, which is crazy, and that was how they could do it back then, and think about it now,
Yeah.
but
Well, they can still do that now with plaster and plaster casts and things like
yeah,
that.
oh
When
yeah,
there's
they can do a
imprints.
lot more now, yeah.
Like they can tell what kind of tire and
But if
shoe and stuff.
but if that wouldn't have been on gravel
Mhm.
like it was at that time, then
Oh, yeah.
they probably would have had no way to know,
If
like
there
they
was-
can now.
If there was asphalt, you'd never know they were there.
Yeah.
I mean, the vast majority of roads, everything. I mean, there was, especially in that part of Texas.
Yeah, it was all gravel.
Yeah, I mean, the majority of it was probably.
That wouldn't have been good streets for us to take the bikes on.
No.
No, absolutely.
He would have died.
And they had those motorcycles.
Oh yeah, those things were pretty slick. Yeah, I don't know how they rode those on those roads, but on the roads like that.
Now, in 1933, Barrow and Parker and Jones, which was one of Barrow's family friends, ended up shooting and killing Deputy Malcolm Davis. They wandered into a police trap set for another criminal, and the gang had murdered 5 people since the beginning of April at that time.
Jeez, so they that was the start of their spree there. Wow.
In 1933, Barrow's brother joined the gang.
Joins in.
Joins
Now
the
it's a
gang.
trio.
Barrow, yeah, Buck, and then Blanche, which I believe was sister.
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah, sister. Sister joined.
Buck and Blanche.
On March 22nd, 1933, Clyde's brother Buck was granted a full pardon and released from prison. And he and his wife, so it was his wife Blanche, not sister.
Yeah.
We were wrong.
Oh, that's what we said. People just heard it wrong. You guys heard it wrong out
Yeah,
there.
we said wife.
Wife, sister, yeah, whatever.
We're going to cut that out.
Okay, bye.
Yeah.
Wife Blanche set up housekeeping with Bonnie. Clyde and Jones in a temporary hideout at 3347 Half Oak Ridge Drive in Joplin, Missouri. How do you do a half for a road?
They somehow did it. I don't know.
Another dimension.
Yeah. It's a polka dot.
I'll
period.
I'll try to get hired on the road department here in town and see if I can figure that out, and then I'll quit.
I can help you with that. I have friends.
Yeah, I'm good on that. Thanks. They have to work in the snow.
The address was a half.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was
47 Half Oak Ridge Drive.
Was it duplex?
Was it a duplex?
I don't know. It looks like
Split
no.
house or something.
It looks like it's just a. It almost looks like a giant square.
I think it was a gated community, but I think it was it? I think it was Forest Meadows. I'm not sure, but
Buck and Blanche were there to visit. They attempted to persuade Clyde to surrender to law enforcement. The group ran loud, alcohol-fueled card games late into the night in the quiet neighborhood. Blanche recalled that they bought a case of beer a day, that men came and went noisily at all hours, and Clyde had accidentally fired a Browning automatic rifle in the apartment while cleaning it.
Oops.
Okay.
How?
I think is that a desktop? An office top? Oh.
He's going to be here most of the night, folks. Don't forget to tip your waitresses.
None of the neighbors visited the house, but they did report some suspicions to the Joplin Police Department. The police assembled a 5-man force in 2 cars on April 13th to confront what they suspected were bootleggers living at that address. The Barrow brothers and Jones opened fire, killing Detective Harry L. McGinnis outright and fatally wounding Constable J.W. Harriman. Parker opened fire with that Browning automatic rifle as the others fled, forcing Highway Patrol Sergeant G.B. Caller to duck behind a large tree. The .30 caliber bullets from the bar, which was the initials for the gun,
Yeah.
they call it, struck the tree and forced wood splinters into the sergeant's face.
Oh,
jeez.
Those aren't itty bitty. Those are.
Yeah.
Those are bigger than a toothpick.
Yeah, that's interesting too, because this was during the years of prohibition were 20.
Bootleggers.
Yeah. You can make good money then.
Oh yeah.
Well, in order to buy a case of beer a day, you'd have to have some kind of money. It's not cheap.
I miss some good old fashioned moonshine.
I don't. Good.
Oh, I love that stuff. I know Chris did.
Oh,
That's good stuff, man. That'll put hair on your chest.
that is funny.
Yeah. Funny, happy things. Sorry.
Parker got into the car with the others, and they pulled in Blanche from the street where she was pursuing her dog Snowball. The surviving officers later testified that they had fired only 14 rounds in the conflict. One hit Jones on the side, one struck Clyde, but was deflected by his suit coat button. His button was strong enough to deflect a bullet.
What the hell kind of coat did he have, and where did he get it? Holy crap.
I don't know. And
Wow.
why throws Buck after ricocheting off of a wall?
They made quality shit back then.
Yeah, they don't do that now.
Yeah, you get shot now, you're dying.
Your button's fucked. I mean,
Yeah, you're fucked and your button's fucked. There's no way else to put it.
Yeah.
Did escape and left pretty much everything they had behind at the apartment, including Buck's parole papers.
Oh.
He had just been out on parole for 3 weeks. 3 weeks.
As in my friend used to say, way to shit the bed.
A large arsenal of weapons and a handwritten poem by Bonnie. A camera and several rolls of undeveloped film were found as well.
Need more coffee.
Yeah.
Hey, Duncan, please sponsor us. Thanks.
We would love that. It would be amazing.
I pay your electric bill before I pay my own.
We drink Dunkin' daily, multiple times.
That's okay, though.
Yeah, God bless them. Quick 1 year.
Yeah, I know we finally get stuff over here.
Yeah.
Yeah, we finally have more than a drug mart
And a McDonald's.
and a McDonald's that sucks over here.
Police developed the film at the Joplin Globe and found many photos of Barrow, Parker, and Jones posing and pointing weapons at one another. The Globe sent the poem and the photos over to the Newswire, including a photo of Parker punching a cigar in her teeth and a pistol in her hand. The Barrow gang subsequently became front-page news throughout the United States.
People love them.
Oh, they did.
Oh my god,
They
dude,
looked
that's
to be heroes.
that's one thing that I learned last night watching that movie is I'm just like, holy shit, dude, they really.
Amazing, along with all the other terrible people.
Yeah.
Massive crowds of people that are in love with them for whatever reason. It was baffling. What kind of crowds the guys drew.
I was shocked, and then further along when we get there, but what happened towards the end, it's just like,
Oh, yeah.
I can't believe people were doing that.
Well, and at the time too, I mean, during the Depression, everybody was tested banks, and
Oh, yeah.
you know, so these guys, some people to the poor, they look like heroes, you know,
Yeah.
because they were going out and stealing from people that had money. They were like the Texas Robin Hood. You know?
Yeah. Yeah.
They looked at them, like you said, as heroes because they were taking from the banks to try and feed and help their community.
Yeah. And a lot of people say that it's a really amazing love story too that I've heard before too. You know, people say with them, you know. So
I don't know. I know there's a lot documented about them being romantically involved, but there's not a ton saying that they were head over heels in love.
I
things
think
like those.
I think what some people mean by that, and I could be wrong, is the fact that they did all this together and they stayed tight niched,
Yeah.
you know, while doing all this. So I think that's why, like, some people may look at it as like, oh, look at this love story, you know.
Well, that's what it was. It was romanticized violence, you know.
Yeah.
And people love the idea behind that story. You know, they're willing to die for each other.
Yeah.
Yada yada yada. But,
Just crazy.
yeah, at the end of the day, it was.
And I
It
don't
wasn't
think
warm and fuzzy. It was.
I don't think there's really anybody that's tried to replicate a Bonnie and Clyde in real life these days. I could be wrong, but I don't think there really is, which is kind of weird because you think somebody, I mean,
Yeah, usually
you
you
know,
have one partner that ends up seeing the light or coming to, and you don't see a whole lot of people just standing together and going
yeah,
off the deep end with each other.
yeah.
Usually one of them is like, hey, maybe this is not such a good idea.
So nobody get any ideas because I said that. Don't go and do it.
Yeah.
It's
You
not
read
what
my
I'm
mind.
suggesting. Okay.
That's what I was about
Oh,
to say.
okay. I was like, what do you mean I read your mind? You and Chris now? What?
No.
What's,
What?
what's going to happen here? Anyways, go ahead.
Ended up moving around for 3 months. They went as far from Texas to as far north as Minnesota. For the next 3 months in May, they did try to rob a bank in Lucerne, Indiana, and successfully robbed a bank in Okabena, I believe is what it's called.
Yeah, it sounds
Sounds
about
good
right.
to me. Hey.
I'm sorry if anybody is listening from there. I'm really
it-
sorry.
Yeah, if it passes Chris's test, it's good.
But it was in Minnesota. They kidnapped Dillard Darby and Sophia Stone at Ruston, Louisiana, in the course of stealing Darby's car. This was one of 7 events between 1932 and 34 in which they kidnapped police officers or robbery victims. They usually release their hostages far from home, sometimes with money to help them return. So we're going to take you hostage. We're going to drop you off really far away, but we're going to give you money so you can get home.
Yeah. Okay. Well, hey.
These are the nicest robbers / kidnappers ever.
As long as you weren't bankers or a cop,
Yeah.
you were good.
Well, they even said they would take police officers as hostages and drop them off. I don't know.
So they actually have a term called hybristophilia, which is actually a phenomenon characterized by sexual interest in and attraction to those who commit crime. So
Okay.
Wow.
there actually is a
Legit.
legitimate term dedicated
To what they did,
to
pretty
this
much.
infatuation with people that from people that don't commit crime with people that do.
So I think what kind of separates them different from most serial killers that we cover is that these two were kind of had a different mindset behind what they were doing. It wasn't so much like a lot of these people, Jeffrey Dahmer and Ed Gein and Gacy and all of them guys and stuff, that they do it because it's almost like there's a wire off in their brain per se, or they get off by it and this and that. These two are kind of doing it differently. I mean, because because they want to help everybody out. That's what they think that they're doing ultimately. And it makes it different. It's kind of interesting. It's just different compared to serial killers that we're used to hearing about. I don't know. I mean, that's just what I think. It just puts it in, I don't know. It's just it's almost like a different bracket to me. What they did was wrong, but I'm just saying they weren't,
Like these guys weren't like
they didn't have a crazy childhood.
No, they had
didn't
pretty
have a
normal
crazy
ones.
childhood.
I guess that's what I'm trying to get at,
They were born with, like some kind of chemical imbalance
Yeah.
or some kind of
They weren't into dissecting
Thing,
people and cutting them up and that kind of stuff,
Right, Well, they certainly. I mean, they didn't sound like they didn't display those issues, but whether or not they might have had something going on, I mean, who knows? We're talking about the early 1900s, and
This stuff wasn't talked about or documented.
Yeah.
Diagnose anything back
Yeah.
then anyway.
There really wasn't any serial killers then
Well, yeah,
that we know of.
it wasn't heavily documented. There was one mystery.
I think you had the Cleveland Torso Killer then,
Yeah.
but that was Jack the Ripper. Yeah.
That kind of thing, but looking back at it, trying to break it down like from a psychologist, psychiatrist perspective, or,
Yeah.
medically, it's impossible. Because
Yeah. I just,
you can do it based on information that you have, but
yeah.
can't exactly.
I was just kind of making small talk with it because
Yeah.
to me it just seems it's like different it's a little more far fetched than what we're used to talking about, you know.
Well, it was more so like strain theory. It was like based on necessity more so.
Yeah.
It seemed like than anything.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So these guys were doing things they found necessary because they were put in a position where they were not going to succeed, and the only way that they were going to come through it and actually accomplish anything was to do it illegally. Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, and they weren't out there like killing kids and that kind of stuff, or raping, or you know,
No,
some of the
it
crazy.
wasn't vulgar,
Yeah,
same time,
but it was still wrong.
brutal.
Yeah, it
I
was
mean,
still brutal.
yeah, but they probably they became desensitized to it.
Yeah.
And it probably helped that they had each other to lean on and to
Yeah.
sympathize with one another
Instead of just being one person.
in order to get through it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, because you had Bonnie kind of, it seemed to me in that movie that we watched last night, it seemed to me she kind of had like her little signature thing that she liked doing when walking up to him on the ground, and she'd kind of kick him over so they were looking at the barrel and then right in the head, you know, shoot him in the head. That was kind of, it seemed like she had done that repeatedly, like it was her thing.
Right. Yeah. I mean, whether or not like the movie, I'm not sure whether they dramatized that situation to a degree. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But if that's the truth, then yeah, there was some sort of like maybe she wanted to have some sort of intimate connection there right at the very end prior to doing that, which once again we could try to analyze and break down. But at the end of the day, she was killing law enforcement officers, which was
it was very messed up, and just the fact that people worshipped him pretty much.
Yeah.
It was just like wild.
Like they weren't just stealing money from rich people, man. They were killing good people with them.
Yeah. So sorry, go ahead.
No need to be sorry. We're talking about hate.
Oh, I don't have to be sorry. I take it back, guys.
Not sorry.
No. Bonnie had a limp on that left leg. We talked about how it was dragging.
Left leg?
The left leg. Those are where it was.
Okay.
In June 10th, 1933, well, 32 or 33, they can't tell exactly what year it was. Barrow failed to see a warning sign on a bridge that was under construction while driving with Jones and Parker near Wellington, Texas. The car flipped into a ravine. Sources cannot agree if it was a gasoline fire or if Bonnie's leg was doused in battery acid from the car, as the battery was under the floorboards. But she just suffered third-degree burns to her. It's her left leg, not her right. Because we watched multiple things, and even Library of Congress said it was her left leg.
Oh, okay.
Her left leg so severe that the muscles contracted and caused the leg to draw up. Jones observed she'd been burned so bad, none of us thought she was going to live. The hide on her leg was gone from her hip down to her ankle. I could see the bone at places.
Oh.
It was
That's
really
brutal.
bad. Now, have either of you been like accidentally burned by battery acid?
No.
I've been burned by some weird things. Now, I don't think specifically battery acid, but I've done some pretty ridiculous stuff.
Unfortunately, I have. It is awful. It will eat through your clothes the minute it touches it.
Oh, I believe
it. Will burn through your skin. If you have a high quantity on you, it will eat your skin. It is absolutely awful.
I did something, and I think maybe it was because when you go buy a motorcycle battery, typically they'll sell you the acid separate, and you fill it up. You actually pour it in there.
It smells like rotten eggs.
Yeah, and I think once upon a time, I think I got that shit on my hand, and my first inkling or thought of what to do is that, oh shit, I got acid on my hand. So I ran inside real quick, and I turned on the sink and I stuck my hand under water.
It's the worst thing to do.
Oh yeah. I mean, it lit it up like a Christmas tree. It was
God.
It has a really adverse reaction with water.
Yeah, it was a bad idea. Look into that maybe, and don't try to solve acid with
use
water.
You can use soda ash, or you can use baking soda.
Baking soda, I think.
Baking soda and soda ash you can use to absorb.
Yeah, and then you got to hurry up and dig through the cabinets trying to find the baking soda when you got acid on you.
Keep one in your fridge, and you know where they both are.
Yeah, that's true. But that's thinking smart. I don't do that. You know, but I've never been burned by it. Muffler burns. Anybody been burned by a muffler burn? Yeah, unfortunately, I can say that today too now as well. Yeah, yeah. Mine's actually on my knuckle here, and it instantly the skin just came right off. Yeah, don't start a motorcycle and think you can touch the exhaust. Doesn't work that way.
Or climb on the wrong side.
I'm muffler burn free, everybody.
Everybody,
Keep wondering.
everybody, I'm muffler burn,
Actually,
everybody.
I got one when I was a kid. I had a little incident with a moped, so
I
I got mine early on.
I got one from a push mower when I was a kid, and I didn't realize, and I just full hand grabbed the muffler on the side. Oh my gosh! I remember I was like screaming and crying for like a whole day. It was just brutal. It was brutal.
I burned inside a gear grabbing a hand before.
Oh, that's horrible too. Yeah.
Like, yeah, I get bent.
Yeah. So that's our segment on burns. We'd like to thank the Metro Burn Unit. No, I'm just kidding.
Don't get burned, people. Now, due to her injuries, Bonnie could hardly walk. She either hopped on her good leg or was carried by a guy, which is really sweet because he easily could have abandoned her and be like, yeah, I don't have time for you.
Yeah.
But instead, he's carrying her and helping her to move around.
He sounds like he really did care about her.
They did kidnap Collinsworth County Sheriff George Corey and City Marshal Paul Hardy, leaving the two of them handcuffed to a tree outside of Eric, Oklahoma. The three rendezvoused with Buck and Blanche and hid in a tourist port near Fort Smith, Arkansas, while they were taking care of Parker's burns. Buck and Jones bungled a robbery and murdered town marshal Henry D. Humphrey in Alma, Arkansas. The criminals had to flee despite Bucky.
Oh man, it's a rough night for words.
Yeah, it's a rough night for words.
Despite Parker's grave condition, I'm sorry, people. I am failing it today.
She's still thinking about Menards and the bluey inflatable.
You can't spend $170 on that.
It's ridiculous. I'm sorry. I know we're off topic for a minute, but who the fuck's paying $170 for a bluey inflatable? Come on, folks. Come on.
I understand I have like a giant inflatable outside of my house right now.
Don't even get me started on that shit.
It's less than that 5-foot bluey.
Yeah.
5-foot bluey.
Yeah. Flat back and ass. Ho! Sorry, continue on. If you know, you know. You know.
Yeah. In the summer of 1933, the gang checked into Red Crown Forest Court, just south of Platte City, Missouri. Man, they went to some of these weird towns that I like to butcher the names of.
I'm telling you.
Who named all this shit?
I know, right? Please, if you named any of this shit, please call in.
Yeah, please leave us a comment on how you actually pronounce it.
I mean, you're probably like 120 now, but that's fine.
Why so creative? I mean, when you move into a new town and don't have a name, it's called like Brick, Oklahoma, or Wood, Texas.
Now,
one Springer 05 wants to know. Let me see if I can get to it here. One Springer 05. Oh yeah, that's right. That's the person last week that wanted to know if I had pants on. The mysterious. They want to know, will you grab me? I'm hot.
Oh.
I'm not grabbing you. I don't even know who the hell you are. Obviously, one Springer. This is like.
Which one are they asking?
Yeah, which one are you asking? Who do you want to grab you? Criminology Chris is married. I'm old and fat. And Classroom Jackie is married and old.
Hey now.
Other way around, Chris is old. Sorry. So, one Springer 05. I'm going to take it, I'm guessing, because I've been thinking about your name this week, wanting to know, because you want to know if I had fucking pants on last week. You have a Springer Harley Davidson, and it's 2005. That's all I can think of.
That's a good one.
Whoever you are, we're not grabbing you. And if you're hot, prove it. Call in.
If you're hot, you can reach out to the Murder Show Facebook page, and our wonderful host here will see it.
That's me. Go ahead.
Anywho, back to our story, guys. They checked into Red Crown Tourist Court. The person that ran it, I don't remember exactly who their name was, but they said it brought attention as the gang had registered originally for 3 people, but there was 5. Now this area that they stayed in was 2 houses connected by 2 garages, and they rented both of them. He said
They do
what
that
was
a lot of
most.
time with cluster homes.
Yeah.
He noted that the driver backed into the garage gangster style for a quick getaway.
I didn't know there was a way to park gangster style, but hey.
Now on, I'm gonna call it gangster.
Thanks,
Now-
Ross.
Now, Blanche Barrow paid for the cabins with coins rather than bills. She did the same thing later that day, buying 5 dinners and 5 beers. The next day, the houser, which was the guy who checked them in and registered them, noticed that they had taped newspapers over the windows of their cabin. Blanche again paid for 5 meals with the coin. Her outfit of a certain kind of riding breeches, I am not attempting to pronounce this because it is not great.
Riding breeches, you said?
Yeah, it was a kind of riding breeches. Also drew attention because it was not the style for women to wear back then. Do you know this is the most memorable thing about them from 40 years ago?
Is it really?
Yeah, this is one thing that they still remember about them 40 years later is that she was wearing riding breeches because it wasn't the typical attire for women. Unlike Bonnie, who dressed very feminine and
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
always looked pretty, Blanche dressed more, I'm a cowboy,
Oh, okay.
even though she was a girl.
Yeah.
Eyewitnesses still remember that 40 years later. Hauser told Captain William Baxter of the Highway Patrol, who was a patron of the restaurant, the Red Crown Tavern, which was a huge spot for them to go to. All Missouri Highway Patrolmen ate there. About the group. Barrow and Jones went into town to purchase bandages, crackers, cheese, and atropine sulfate. I'm not exactly sure what would that
But
like.
look at me, I'm not a medic.
I'm not
I'm a medic.
um,
That was my past life, sorry.
Atropine sounds like something that.
it's a certain type of. It treats a certain kind of nerve agent and pesticide poisonings, as well as types of slow heart rates to decrease saliva producing production
Because I
during
think
surgery.
they give you atropine when your heart rate's slow. Like when your body's shutting down, it'll bring you back. It's like
Okay.
you've seen it in like medical
so she
dramas
was.
and shit.
Yeah, so she must have been that bad that if they had to do that, like, jeez, it's surprising she had lived.
Yeah.
The druggist contacted Sheriff Colt Coffey, who put the cabins under surveillance. Coffey had already been alerted by Oklahoma, Texas, and Arkansas law enforcement to watch for strangers seeking such supplies. The sheriff contacted Captain Baxter, who called for reinforcements from Kansas City, including an armored car. Sheriff Coffey led a group of officers towards the cabins at 11 p.m. on July 20th, 1933, armed with Thompson submachine guns. So they had only been at these cabins for 10 days. The gunfight that ensued, the officers' 45 caliber Thompsons, proved no match for Barrow's 30 caliber bar stolen on July 7th from the National Guard Armory in Eden, Oklahoma. The gang escaped when a bullet short-circuited the horn of the armored car, and the police officers mistook it for a ceasefire signal. They did not pursue the retreating Barrow vehicle. So they shot at them, fried the armored car, and left because the police thought they were giving up. They thought it was a ceasefire signal. Yeah. So they managed to get away again. There was a large hole that Buck got shot as that blasted a large hole in the bone of his forehead and exposed his injured brain. So he had a giant hole like this.
Who did?
Buck.
Jeez.
Problem.
Yes, that's the problem. Blanche
That's the best one-liner I've heard tonight.
Blanche
That's a problem.
was also nearly blinded by glass fragments from this.
Oh yeah, I mean, there's got to be a lot of shit going around.
You realize Buck had only been out for 2 months at this point.
He probably should just go back if it's just gonna be glass to the eyes, and a hole in the head.
It did say that in July 24th, 1933, they went to an abandoned amusement park in Dexter, Iowa. Buck was not doing the hottest. He was sometimes semi-conscious and even talked to me, but his massive head wound and loss of blood were so severe that Barrow and Jones dug a grave for him. Yeah.
Alrighty then. Go ahead.
Residents noticed their bloody bandages, and officers determined that the campers were the Barrow gang. Local police officers and approximately 100 spectators surrounded the group. The Barrows soon came under fire. Barrow, Parker, and Jones escaped on foot. Buck was shot in the back, and he and his wife were captured by officers. Buck ended up dying of his head wounds and pneumonia after surgery 5 days later. For the next 6 weeks, the remaining perpetrators ranged far afield from their usual area of operations, west to Colorado, north to Minnesota, southeast to Mississippi, yet they continued to commit armed robberies. They restocked their arsenals when Barrow and Jones robbed an armory in August in Illinois. They acquired 3 more bars, handguns, and a large quantity of ammunition. So they had 3
Damn.
more of those automatic rifles.
Oh yeah. Jeez.
Yeah. By early September, the gang risked a run to Dallas to see their families, but ended up leaving. This was along the time that the highwaymen which were the Texas Rangers, were starting to plan to take them down. So they used somebody that was good friends with Bonnie and Clyde for that. But they had got warned and left.
Oh, it was you're talking about to get out of the gang so he could get those 2. That was the one guy's dad.
It was Jones. Jones
Yeah.
was the one who had got arrested, and then he got released, and they
Yeah.
used.
Yeah.
In November 22nd, they narrowly evaded being arrested while meeting with those family members. Dallas Sheriff Smoot Schmidt, Deputy Bob Alcorn, and Deputy Ted Hinton lay in wait nearby. As Barrow drove up, he sensed a trap and drove past his family's car, at which point Schmidt and his deputies stood up and opened fire with machine guns in a bar. The family members in the crossfire were not hit, but a bar bullet passed through the car, striking the legs of both Barrow and Parker. They later escaped that evening. By November 28th, a Dallas grand jury had delivered a murder indictment against Parker and Barrow for the killing. In January of that year, nearly 10 months earlier, a Tarrant County deputy, Malcolm Davis, was Parker's first warrant for murder. Now, we're going to get into the final year.
Uh-oh.
Yeah. We have to move fast through this.
Yeah, that's where it gets wild.
It does. This is if you want to see what we're talking about, seriously watch The Highwaymen.
Oh yeah, it's
It's
definitely worth it. Netflix.
oh my gosh, it's amazing. On January 16th, 1934, Barrow orchestrated the escape of Hamilton I can't pronounce this name, and several others in the East Ham breakout, which was where they originally had tried to get all of the guns and ammunition for East Ham prison.
Yeah.
To break people out of. The brazen raid generated negative publicity for Texas, and Barrow seemed to have achieved what historian Phillips suggests was his overall goal: revenge on the Texas Department of Corrections.
Oh,
He was arrested how many times?
quite a few. I mean,
wasn't it 17?
Yeah, it was something like that. Yeah.
He was arrested a while. Barrow gang member Joe Palmer shot Major Joe Cronson during his escape, and Cronson died a few days later in the hospital. This attack attracted the full power of the Texas and federal government for a manhunt for both Bonnie and Clyde. As Crossan struggled for life, prison chief Simmons reportedly promised him that everyone involved would be killed. The Texas Department of Corrections contacted former Texas Ranger Captain Frank Hammer and persuaded him to come back and hunt down Bonnie and Clyde.
And that he did.
He really did.
Came out of retirement for that shit.
Now, Hammer was officially credited with 53 kills and had only suffered 17 wounds in his time as a Texas Ranger.
Jeez.
So he had a pretty great
Pretty good
history,
run.
yeah. That was for 20 years
Wow.
as well. Mhm. On Easter Sunday, April 1st, 1934, at the intersection of Route 114 and Dove Road, near Grapevine, Texas, which is now South Lake, Highway Patrolman H.D. Murphy and Edward Bryant Wheeler stopped their motorcycles thinking a motorist needed assistance. Barrow and his gang opened fire with a shotgun and handgun, killing both officers. An eyewitness account said that Parker fired a fatal shot and his story received widespread coverage. I can't say this guy's name, so I'm just going to say M. M later claimed that he fired the first shot after mistakenly assuming that Barrow wanted the officers killed. Barrow joined in, firing at Patrolman Murphy. The eyewitness's ever-changing story was soon discredited, but the massive negative publicity increased the public clamor for the extermination of the Barrow gang. The outcry galvanized the authorities into action, and Highway Patrol boss L.G. Farrows offered a reward of $1,000, which is the equivalent to $18,000 in 2024.
Jeez.
Yeah,
that's a lot of money now.
It is. The dead bodies of the Grapevine Slayers, not their capture, just the bodies. So they wanted them dead, one way or another. And if you did it, you got money.
Yeah.
Texas Governor Ma Ferguson added another reward of $500 for each of the two killers, which meant that for the first time there was a specific price on Bonnie's head since she was so widely believed to have shot H.D. Murphy. In May of 1934, Barrow had 16 warrants outstanding against him for multiple counts of robbery, auto theft, escape, assault, and murder in 4 states. Hammer, who had begun tracking the gang in February, led the posse. He had studied the gang's movements and found that they swung in a circle, skirting the edges of five Midwestern states, exploiting the state line rule that prevented officers from pursuing a fugitive into another
jurisdiction.
Say it again.
Jurisdiction.
Okay, thank you.
We don't claim to be professionals.
We're not. We do this for fun.
We do this for fun, so fuck it and get over it. Anyways.
Barrow was consistent in his movements, so Hammer charted his path and predicted where he would go. The gang's itinerary centered on family visits, and they were due to see Metvin's family in Louisiana. Unbeknownst to Hammer, Barrow had designated his parents' residence, which was Metvin's parents, as they rendezvous in case they were separated. Metvin had become separated from the rest of the gang in Shreveport. Hammer's posse was comprised of 6 men. Texas officers Hammer, Hinton, Alcone, and B.M. Manny Galt. Now remember, Hinton used to be Bonnie's friend.
Yeah.
The childhood friend.
Yeah.
So he was part of the gang that took her down. How would you feel to be that person?
Yeah, right. You have a history with him, or with her, yeah.
You're a shitty man, considering what they're doing. Hold on.
On May 21st, the 4 posse members from Texas were in Shreveport when they learned that Barrow and Parker were planning to visit Ivy Medvin in Bienville Parish that evening. The full posse set up an ambush along Louisiana State Highway 154 towards Sales. S-A-I-L-E-S. That'd be Sales. Hinton recounted that the lawmen were in place by 9 p.m. and waited through the whole of the next day, which was May 22nd, with no sign of them. Other accounts said the officers set up on the evening of May 22nd. At approximately 9:15 on May 23rd, the posse was still concealed in the bushes and almost ready to give up when they heard a vehicle approaching at high speed. In their official report, they stated that they had persuaded Medvin to position his truck on the shoulder of the road that morning. They hoped Barrow would stop to speak with him, putting his vehicle close to the posse's position in the bushes. The vehicle proved to be the Ford V8 with Barrow at the wheel. He did slow down to speak with Medvin, but it was that track.
That car was sweet too. I never
That car
talked
was
about that
cool.
yesterday. The 1934 Ford. Yeah, that thing was sweet. I love how those doors opened up like
Mhm.
backwards.
Right.
The front doors,
Oh, like
you
the
know.
suicide doors?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are
Those things were sweet. That was when they made cars, man. Good.
The 6 lawmen opened fire while the vehicle was still moving. Oakley fired first, probably before any order to do so. Barrow was shot in the head and died instantly from that shot. Hinton reported hearing Parker scream. The officers fired about 130 rounds, emptying each of their weapons into the car. The two had survived 7 bullet wounds over the years in their confrontations with the law. On this day, any of Bonnie Parker's and Clyde Barrow's wounds would have proven to be fatal. They did say when they tried to embalm them, they had a really hard time because of all the holes.
Oh yeah, the amount of bullet holes between the two of them, you know. And then you made a good point last night when we watched that, movie about the look on her face.
Yeah.
I can only imagine that that's probably close to what it was.
Oh yeah. Well, there's
In
an
real
actual
life,
picture of her slumped over in the front seat from the murder, from them killing her.
Yeah.
When he rolled up on it, like the look on her face.
Oh my God.
He was like, "Yeah, this is it where I die."
Yeah. Oh yeah, you knew it. She was like, "Oh shit,"
She grabbed Clyde and looked at him, and then looked forward, and
That was it. Yeah. Rangers knew that she was going to try to grab something, you know.
Film footage taken by one of the deputies immediately after the ambush shows 112 bullet holes in the vehicle, of which around 1/4 struck the couple. The official report by Parish Coroner J.L. Wade listed 17 entrance wounds on Barrow's body and 26 on Parker's, including several headshots to each and one that had severed Barrow's spinal column.
And that car's on display in Vegas, right? Didn't you guys say?
Actually, I was looking it up earlier today. It may have possibly been moved back to Louisiana as of a
Really?
couple weeks ago. Yeah.
I can
And
only
if so, we gotta go.
I can only imagine seeing that car in person. That's wild, man. All the
wanna
bullet
see
holes and shit on it, you know.
I want to see the real one.
I want to go there too.
Well, you're going. Undertaker C.F. Boots Bailey had difficulty embalming them because of those holes. The deafened officers inspected the vehicle and discovered an arsenal, including stolen automatic rifles, sawed-off semi-automatic shotguns, assorted handguns, and several thousand rounds of ammunition, along with 15 sets of license plates from different states. So they were changing the license plate as well.
Smart.
Hammer stated, "I hate to bust the cap on a woman, especially when she was sitting down. However, if it wouldn't have been her, it would have been us." Word of the deaths quickly got around when Hammer, Jordan, Oakley, and Hinton drove into town to telephone their bosses. A crowd soon gathered at the spot. Scott and Alcorn were left to guard the bodies, but they lost control with the jostling, curious people, and one woman even cut off bloody locks of Parker's hair.
Yeah, that was crazy when they were taking the car through the center of town. I can't believe that they did that, you know? And people are like ripping to take off pieces of her hair as they're both just laying dead in that front seat, you know?
Hinton actually came back from making that phone call to find somebody trying to cut off Barrow's trigger finger. So they wanted his finger for a souvenir. This is Barrow's finger.
Yeah. And they were like grabbing pieces of his shirt and shit.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, I can't believe that they did that.
Her hair and the pieces of clothes from Parker and Barrow were sold as souvenirs.
I wonder what they got for those. Oh, gosh. Yeah. Yeah.
The posse, right?
No.
The posse towed the Ford with the dead body still inside to the Conger Furniture Store and Funeral Parlor in downtown Arcadia, Louisiana. Preliminary embalming was done by Bailey in a small preparation room in the back of the furniture store. Hi, it's a funeral home and a furniture store. Somebody may be embalmed on your couch before you get it.
Hey, maybe you get it half off.
Or the dining room table.
Dining room table. I don't know.
They should keep the bugs out.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. Oh, shit.
I'm scared shit.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, I can only imagine. Yeah.
The population of Northwest Louisiana reportedly swelled from 2,000 people to 12,000 within hours. It's like when Cleveland actually won the championship for basketball.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The only time we'll ever see it, yeah.
Curious lookers arrived by train, horseback, carriage, and plane. Beer normally sold for 15 cents a bottle jumped to 25 cents for that day, and sandwiches quickly sold out. Henry Barrow identified his son's body, then sat weeping in a rocking chair in the furniture store. Yeah.
Wow. The same furniture store where the
Yep.
funeral is. Yeah. Wow. A lot of crazy stuff. I mean, even though this was 1934 or whatever, it's just, I don't know,
Yeah. No, Bonnie and Clyde had wished to be buried side by side, but Bonnie's family would not allow that. Her mother wanted to grant her final wish to be brought home, but the mob surrounding the Parker house made that impossible. More than 20,000 people attended Bonnie's funeral, and her family had difficulty reaching her gravesite. Parker's services were held on May 26th. Alan Campbell recalled that flowers came from everywhere, including some with cards allegedly from Pretty Boy Floyd and John Dillinger. The largest floral tribute was sent by a group of Dallas City newsboys. The Sun End of Bonnie and Clyde sold 500,000 newspapers in Dallas alone. Parker was buried in the Fish Trap Cemetery, although her body was moved in 1944 to the new Crown Hill Cemetery in Dallas. That's not.
Never been to Texas.
Me neither.
I mean, I hear there's quite a bit to do out there, but.
Yeah, no, I guess there's. I've never spent time out there.
No.
No, I got friends down there. They moved down there and they're totally obsessed with it, honestly.
Oh, okay.
They like it up a little. Wish they were back up here, but moved there for work. So,
Oh, okay. Yeah.
So Barrow's private funeral was held at sunset on May 25th. He was buried in Western Heights Cemetery in Dallas, next to his brother Marvin. The Barrow brothers share a single granite marker with their names on it and an epiphany selected by Clyde, gone but not forgotten. Interesting fact, the American National Insurance Company of Galveston, Texas, paid the life insurance policies in full on Bonnie and Clyde.
Damn.
Yeah.
Must be nice. Wow.
The 6 men responsible for the takedown of Bonnie and Clyde were promised a share of the total of $26,000 of reward money. But most of the organizations that have pledged reward funds took their pledges back. In the end, each lawman earned $200.23. In 2025, that equals $4,821.61.
Wow. Doesn't seem like a whole lot.
No.
Even 4,000. I mean.
Right. Even
I don't know.
Today, $4,000.
Yeah. It's like. Yeah. Well, it's crazy. I mean, there's a lot lot going on here, definitely. But it's a pretty the car was in Prim outside of Vegas, Whiskey Pete. Oh, okay.
Interesting fact. A couple of months after Bonnie and Clyde were killed, John Dillinger was killed in Chicago. 3 months after that, Pretty Boy Floyd was killed in Ohio. And 1 month after that, Babyface Nelson was killed in Illinois.
Illinois. That's Chicago. That's Chris's favorite state over there.
Those were all around the same time as Bonnie and Clyde, of big mafia and crime and things like that.
So what do you we gotta rate this now, What do you guys rate this? On a scale of 1 to 10 on our fucked up scale. I mean, it's not so much. Well, no, but that's what I call the scale,
I'm gonna say 5, honestly.
5.
Because they originally had started this as being a trying to help my community, trying to make people grow, help them through the depression, and then it turned into him wanting payback against the Texas Department of Correction.
Yeah. I'm going with a 5 as well. That's what I was going to go with.
Yeah, I'd be somewhere near the middle of the road. I mean, I still have a hard time with it. I mean, any of these things that we do, I mean, obviously, yeah, we cover some pretty sick individuals already, but I mean, in this case, these guys were just traveling around, and they were murdering law enforcement with families that they were out trying to do their job.
Yeah, that's messed up.
And all in all, yeah, they did it out of what they felt was necessity at the time. But it still doesn't excuse.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it still doesn't make it right.
Yeah, you could have found a different way to go about it. So I'd probably put it. I'll go a little bit worse. Just say.
Okay, so 5, 5, and 6. All right, yeah. I mean, it's kind of nice to dial it back every once in a while, though. And this week, kind of do something less so crazy and off the wall,
Yeah, it's not.
as intense.
Yeah.
I mean, it is, but in its own way. It's like I said before, it's separated from what we usually.
Yeah, this is violence, but at the same time, it's not disgusting. I mean, even after our preparations, some of them, I'll be in my car, listen to something. I can't even do this shit anymore.
Yeah. Well, if we ever get too gross for you, Chris, you just let us know.
I like watch Scooby Doo just to lighten the mood, just so I can.
Scooby Dooby Doo, where are you? Oh man. Well,
now the Bonnie and Clyde car is still in display on like they said, what was Whiskey Pete is now Buffalo Bills, is what it's called.
Oh, how ironic. We're going to call it Buffalo Bills now.
It's still there, and it only costs a few dollars to go see it.
I knew you were going to do it.
It's on display 24 hours in the Prim, Nevada Buffalo Bills Resort and Casino. You can go in and see it. There are still bloodstains from Bonnie and Clyde, as well as there is one of Clyde's shirts.
And this is at a bar?
It's at a resort and casino.
Oh, nothing does it like playing craps and fucking looking at bloodstains in a car.
Yeah, if there was a couch sitting there, I would probably sit there and look at it just in like
taking
every detail of the car.
Of course you would.
I'm sure you can't go sit in it.
Yeah.
Sit in it. I'm in a couch chair to look at it type thing. Like, say it was right there and there's a chair there. I'm going to sit there and be like, oh my God, this is cool.
Or in the car.
Let me set my french fries on the dashboard.
I don't think they'll let you do that.
Put the fucking lotion in the basket. Sorry.
Okay.
Anyways, but no, we want to thank everybody for listening in tonight. Another good one here, definitely. And if you don't already, please do, like I always try to let everyone know, subscribe to our YouTube channel here. And like us on all social media platforms, TikTok and Facebook, and that is at Murder Show. You can also email Classroom Yaki or Jackie anytime that you want for anything, even if any ideas. Eventually, what I think we're going to do is kind of open the floor up here and from our viewers take anybody that has any suggestions that they want us to cover, and anybody. So we'll get there.
Starting after the holidays, start our new year
Yeah,
with fan requests. If you
yeah.
have requests, put them in the comments on our
Put
Facebook
'em-
page,
yeah.
TikToks, email them. You can find our email address as well.
Yeah, so I think it would be a good idea. We'll get there, and definitely after the first of the year. But once again, thank you for everybody for joining us another week here on The Crime Show. We will be back. Did we decide, is it
Next
or
Sunday.
Murder Show, not Crime Show? Wow. So anyways, it's just been one of those days, okay?
Yep.
Murder Show. Yeah. Did we decide on day?
Yeah, next Sunday.
Sunday of next week, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So until then, everybody enjoy the rest of your weekend. Enjoy your week next week. And I'll leave you with Jackie to do her thing.
Same crime time, same crime place.
Bye.
Bye.